Well, thank you for being on. Thank all of you lovely women for taking time out to just learn something new. Many times we are asked, like, what's Shackley about? How does it work? What do you do? What are your businesses like? So we're hoping to do a couple of little pop-ups so that we can start to inform people. And this first one that we wanted to do on women. Let's see if I can move that up. Okay, we wanted to do on women. And first of all, I will introduce myself, Linda Berkheiser, and people know me, but I'm a mom, grandmom, great-grandma, soon of two, and a longtime Shackley person. And I've been helping people for years and years. My goal is just to help everybody be healthier so that we can have a better world, because I know it's possible. I just know it's possible. So today we're going to talk about the effect of toxins on women, and we're going to do a thing where we're going to talk about malfunctioning cells, what it takes to make a good cell, what cells do as far as building organs and preventing disease, free radicals. We're going to do a whole bunch of that, and then we're going to go and end up with talking about things that are real important to women as far as women's issues. So let's get a start on this. The top 10 causes of death for us in the United States. I'm just going to move this down because I'm not going to be able to read. All right, we'll go on. Can't go on. Really? There. Type 10 causes: heart disease, cancer, COVID. This was done in 2021, right in the midst of COVID, but this is the last one that was actually done. So we wanted to let you know that they still are, heart disease and cancer are still the leading causes of death for women. Just nice for us to know. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Oh, okay. Now I feel like I'm in control. Okay, and women are mostly concerned today with heart disease, breast cancer, GYN problems, depression, anxiety, and reproductive health issues, especially infertility. Infertility is a big deal today. And then, of course, with heart disease, we are concerned about weight and diabetes, and we just have a lot of things to think about. In order to make a good cell and to be healthy, these are the things that you really need. You need macronutrients, and you'll see at the top, those are macronutrients, your proteins, your healthy fats, your carbs, and you need some carbs. So don't let people convince you that you don't need any carbs at all. You do need some carbs. And then you need micronutrients. And the micronutrients, as you can see on the left, are like your B's and your A's and your C's and your D's. But how they come from our foods, and they come from our fruits and vegetables mostly. So how do we know we have enough? We really don't. And with today's society and the fact that our food is so depleted, we never know if we have enough. So on the right-hand side, you'll see supplements. And this is what a lot of us do in Shackley, and this is what we share with people. And we have a wonderful Vitalizer for women and Vitalizer Gold that will meet all your micronutrient needs. And isn't that great? If you get your macronutrients and your micronutrients, you will feel so much more stable as a person. So why are we all so sick? There's a thought on this, that there is only one disease, and the disease is malfunctioning cells. So how does that happen? Well, it is thought that exposure to toxins, and today, every place that you look, they're talking about toxins. And every doctor that I talk to that is more functional medicine or chiropractor is saying toxins is the biggest thing that'll lead to a shortened life. It just is a problem. And a lack of nutrients. So depending on what we are doing and how we're building cells, we're building all the time, and we're building and getting rid of, building and getting rid of. We're like little machines. This is a normal cell on your left at the bottom. You see a normal cell and an atypical cell. If you have normal cells, you build good organs, you have a strong body in every way. If you start to build cells that are not typical, and they call them atypical cells, you'll see here on the left, they can continue to mutate. and they can try to correct. If you can't correct these cells, by the time you get to the bottom, a lot of people are facing cancer. And that's why there's so much cancer today, too. But on the other hand, you can do a lot to prevent this. The reason this whole thing happens the way it does and why you need more nutrients, the more abnormal cells you have and the more toxins you're exposed to, the more free radicals you develop. And that means that it's harder and harder to make those good cells. So that's why you want more nutrients. Has anybody ever heard of the human body burden? And I know some of you are shaking your head because it's been around, but scientists know that there's 300 plus quarts of blood each day going back and forth from the placenta to the baby before a baby's born. So they wanted to see like how many chemicals and pollutants were really in babies. And they did a sampling of babies across the United States of different nationalities, from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and they found typically there are 200 chemicals in each baby. And I think that's really pretty awful. Here's our wheel of toxins. And again, this is only some of them, but just to give you an idea of what people are concerned about, phthalates, pesticides, phytoestrogens, this PFAS, well, that comes in our water, bisphenol, and that they line our cans with that, and other, I've push this up. Nothing ever wants to go the right way. Oh well, forget it. Dioxins. So this is just an example, of what we're facing. We also get toxins from, yes, our medications. So don't feel that medications are the wherewithal. If you need them, you need them. However, you have to realize that there are toxins with the medications also. Now let's talk about the Shackley difference. We know that there are lots and lots of chemicals, 80,000 registered chemicals, but fewer than 600 are ever tested for safety by the government. So that leaves us up with a big question mark about what do we do about these other chemicals? So in comes the Shackley difference. And the Shackley difference, what we do, is that we do 350 contaminant tests on raw ingredients coming in, and 3 times the pesticide tests required, and 100,000 quality tests annually, never test on animals. Our products are considered beyond organic. So there are organic because they're not grown with any chemicals. However, a lot of the organic products have toxins in them, and Shackley will pick that up, and we will not use any of those. So it's just a safeguard that you have by dealing with a safe company. Now I want to introduce you to the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 and the Environmental Working Group. As you can see on the right-hand side here, ewg.org. If you don't know about it, go to Google, look it up, and what they will tell you, you can print out something like this that looks like the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And the Environmental Working Group is not a government group. It is an independent group that is funded by people who want to make sure that there are safe products out there for people. So when we say the Dirty Dozen, that means those products are sprayed from the time they're a seed. So in those products, it's not like you can wash off pesticides. They're in the products. So you really want to do anything on the Dirty Dozen side, if you can possibly do it, do organic. And I know this is hard for families a lot of times, but we do have the Clean 15. Now the Clean 15 are products that do not have as many pesticides in it. They're a little bit safer, or they have covers on them, or they have, they're like more of a seed plant, like an onion. You have the shell on it. So these are a little bit better. And if you donate $10, which is what I did, you get a cute little card that says the Dirty Dozen on one side and it says the Clean 15 on another side. It makes it nice for grocery shopping. So it's a wonderful thing, and it is a great group. I lost my little thingy there. So let's talk about more toxins. Okay, first of all, did you know these slides are going to have 2 things? They're going to have the bad and the good. So the bad part is The cleaning products aren't regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, not at all. And, people think that, oh, certainly the government would tell us. No, they won't. But you don't even have to list the ingredients on some of your products, which is really sad. And it is felt that the inside of our homes may actually be more toxic than the outside. So think about how many small animals are suffering today because they live inside a home and the home may have too many toxins in it. And we get toxins from everything. We get it from our cleaners, stuff in our dishwasher, um, softeners. I mean, we get it all from everything. And many of the chemicals in there will also act as hormone disruptors, and they disrupt normal hormones. And it affects how our food is processed, so that sometimes you're eating and it's transforming your food into fat instead of muscle and other tissues. And that's a true thing. So look at the top here with all these Shaklee products. These are our happy products. These are the ones that people like. And I'm going to, and very economical. I'd like to turn this over to Yolanda. Can you unmute yourself, Yolanda, and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you like in our cleaners?
Okay, sure. Thank you, Linda. Thanks for inviting me on. My name is Yolanda, and I have been with Shaklee for a little over 20 years. And I got into Shaklee because really I was interested in the vitamins. I was still having breakouts around that time. I was about 25 years old, and the vitamins cleared up my skin within 2 weeks. So from there, I've just always bought Shaklee products, but then over time, I became a postpartum doula, a herbalist, and then eventually a holistic health practitioner. And
Uh,
um, I'm sorry.
I think we lost you just for a second. That's all right.
Okay, so I decided to use Shaklee products as my go-to products for my clients and customers.
Right.
But what I want to talk about today is recently I've been using Arm& Hammer off and on laundry detergent just out of habit. And there's been recalls on the laundry detergents, really bad ones, and also cleaning supplies. I was mainly into using Shaklee vitamins and, the health products internally, and I had not got into using the cleaning products and the laundry products yet. So once I learned about Fabuloso being recalled recently, I switched over way before I found out about this Fabuloso thing. But I had switched over to the Shaklee products and totally revamped my house. And I have five small little, well, not all of them are small, but I have five children, and my youngest is 3, and he has a lot of seasonal allergies. And when I tell you, by switching the laundry detergent and the cleaning products alone, it has significantly reduced his symptoms greatly. So when Linda says most of the toxins are in our home, it's so true. I didn't know that, like, just spraying Lysol or using bleach will agitate, your kids' little lungs, and then think about our lungs and stuff. So um, I really am, you know, I just love these products, and I'm an advocate for them,
Right.
especially having brand new, if you're just giving birth or someone that's uh, about to have a baby, it's really important for them to change over.
Right, right. Oh, thank you so much. And you can change so many lives with what you're doing. I'm so happy to have you on the call. It's great. Thank you, Yolanda. So we're
Oh,
now
you're welcome. Thank you.
okay. All right. We're moving on to clean beauty. And again, you know, um, a lot of people on the call are saying, well, we don't like to, I know I hear people that say, we don't like to use too many products, blah, blah, blah. We believe in natural. But the bottom line is, if you are a woman who does believe in more products, let's put it this way, you wash your face with something, you use a toner, you use a conditioner, you might use makeup, you use lipstick, you know, there are things that people use. And isn't it nice to know that Shaklee bans 2,500 ingredients from our products? And remember, I told you about the environmental working group. Well, right there is the big seal. All of these products on this page are all recommended by the environmental working group, which is really just makes you feel a little bit safer about what you're doing. And you can see European countries are pretty good. The United States doesn't think very much of women, unfortunately, because they only ban 11. Now, I shouldn't say that. I feel offended though. 11 products, and Europe is, and other countries are banning over 1,000. So again, we're very fortunate to have Shaklee and to be able to rely on them. And I tell people when I go places, I said, you know, I wash my skin, I wash my face today, and I use like plants and fruits and natural things, and they look at me, flowers and plants and fruits, and they look at me and they go, oh God, here she is. But but it's true, but it's true. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, covered a little bit about the toxins, but let's tie this in a little bit to hormonal imbalances, because we know that a lot of toxins do affect our hormones also. And of course, we as women go through so many hormonal changes. We're going through changes, of course, with puberty, menopause, perimenopause, just having a cycle. I mean, so we have hormones that are in constant flux. And that's why we have a little lady there saying, has anybody seen my hormones? Where do they go? But when you have your cycle, if your digestive system is real healthy, your estrogen is excreted, because you have extra estrogen after you have that whole cycle where you have the estrogen and the progesterone. But if it's not healthy, it's reabsorbed and your estrogen levels get very high. And sometimes the estrogen is stored in your liver, which is not good either. So there are things that we can do about it. You know, that's why we recommend the Vitalizer, which has all of your micronutrients. And of course, garlic will kill candida if you have candida. GLA absolutely has saved so many women. I can't even tell you. Women turn into different people when they have GLA in their diet or in their as a supplement, and B complex for sugars, because we know sugar does a really bad thing on yeast. So a lot of women are estrogen dominants, and that's why we sometimes are nasty. We don't mean to be, but sometimes we are. We can't help it. So let's talk about candida, because it's so common and it's something that people are also concerned about. We know there's a brain-gut connection. So the first thing we mentioned is the brain, and they cause digestive problems, but it can also cause reproductive struggles, immune weakness, and skin disorders. And again, what happens many times is that, of course, you have too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria. You'll get little holes in your intestine, and you start to leak food into your body, and it becomes a very bad thing. So sugar does feed candida yeast, which produces more toxins. And to kill the yeast, we always say, you know, look at garlic and probiotics. Then we move into menopause, because that's the next thing. We just move up. And usually when women are in their 40s, a lot of times, or early 50s, all of a sudden they're like that woman at the end that's pulling her hair out, because, you know, you're getting all these symptoms, hot flashes, chills, night sweats. And I have people that talk to me all the time about this, and they're just so concerned because they don't even understand, because unfortunately, doctors still do not really spend time with you and explain these things to you. That's why we like to be around, so that we can help you a little bit. So when all of those things start to happen, you can have, again, weight gain, which is very common. And all of these things are not your fault. And don't let the doctors tell you that it's all in your head, because it's not. It's happening to you. So the things that might help are the Vitalizer Strip. Again, I love it. It's a really easy thing to tell everybody about. GLA, our Life Shakes with the protein. Our Life Shakes save my life anyway. Osteo Matrix, which is our calcium, vitamin D. And then a lot of people will add the menopause balance. And some people will go to the hormone centers that are natural, some natural hormone centers, and get some help. But I think it's always good if you can help yourself first before you do anything second. This is a study that I'm going to go over real quickly before I turn this over to Barb. This is our 180 post-exercise study. We had a 180 program that's a weight loss program, but this was only done with our protein, which you will see is called Life Shake. So we had two groups, and they worked out 2 to 3 times a week for 6 months, average age 59. Group 1, no shake. Group 2, Shackley's 180 immediately after workout. And we met the doctor that did this study at one of our conventions. He was real interesting. So everybody lost some weight, everybody lost fat, everybody gained muscle. But the Shackley group gained 25% more muscle, which is really important because your muscle will increase your metabolism and help you to keep a better weight. And they lost 50% more body fat. So pretty interesting that you can just have a protein that will do that. And again, we don't have to worry that our protein is contaminated with cadmium or lead, or we're not being sued like many other companies are right now, because it's just protein is not protein, it's not protein. Let's put it that way. Barb, do you want to talk about these next couple slides? And I'll let you introduce yourself. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I'm Barb Jansen. I am in Florida right now, but I live in South Carolina the rest of the year. And I've been in Shackley for over 30 years and got started to help my kids' health. And now I'm just really excited that we have so many options to help others find a way to have better health and healthier lives. So doing the, sorry, how to kick those cravings. First of all, fiber is a great way to, so a lot of times when we have the weight gains, it's just because we crave things that we think we need to have, and there's lots of different reasons for it. So some of the things that can help us kick those cravings are fiber, such as raw fruits and vegetables, the Life Shakes, whole grains, and then the protein, it can be a Life Shake, or it can be meat, poultry, fish, beans, legumes, those kinds of things for protein, and vitamin B that we can get from meat, seafood, and B complex. I don't really encourage fortified whole grain cereals, but anyway,
Right.
I guess
I think that was our old thinking. That you know what I mean? There we're realizing now that we have to read all those. We have to be able to digest them all.
Yes, yes. So cravings are not a willpower issue. They're caused by a metabolic imbalance.
Right here.
So,
and do you want to tell them about this?
Yes.
Okay. Reset. And this is very important because I didn't mention detoxing at all, but maybe I know Barb will mention it when she's doing this too.
Well, we have two options. So the reset that I'm going to talk about briefly is a great way to kickstart your weight loss, or just a way to start a healthier lifestyle for long-term wellness. And we have two options. We have the 5-day reset, and then we also have a 7-day cleanse. And the reset was designed by doctors and nutritionists to boost your energy, improve your sleep, and your moods, curb hunger, and ease bloating. The biggest difference is that it is protein powered, which means that you're going to feel fuller longer. And the reset includes your food for 5 days, and then you just can add some fruits and veggies of your choice. So I actually did this in January. As you can see on the slide, there's a box there, and each box is a day, and it has all the foods you need for that day and your vitamins. So it's a complete system that helps to recharge your body and your mind. So I started with the reset in January, mid-January, and never felt hungry, lost a few pounds, had plenty of energy, slept really well. And so, you might ask, what's the next step, however, after you do this 5-day reset? And that's where our 180 weight loss program comes into effect. And so that is where I moved on after the 5 days. So it's not really what you lose, it's what you'll gain with this 5-day reset.
And how did you feel about it though, Barb, after we were done with it?
I felt very satisfied the whole time. And the food is really good. It comes with a shake, a bar, and like I said, all your supplements. And you're not swallowing a bunch of pills, so
Right.
to speak. There's a lot of them are drinks. There is our new electrolyte drink is included, and that helps with focus and staying hydrated. And it tastes wonderful. There's two different flavors, and those are included in the 5-day reset also.
Right. I think that's great. And if people, that doesn't mean that you have to start the 180 afterwards. Some people, maybe are already in a good regime and they just will start to add some things after this, but it really gets your body ready. And I know that one of the things that they mentioned to me is 100 grams of protein, which is what we're supposed to be aiming for every day, 100 grams of protein, and you get 100 grams of protein in this. Thank you, Barb. That was great. I appreciate it so much. You did a great job.
Thanks.
And we're coming to the end of it because we wanted to keep this small because we're going to do a bunch of these pop-ups that are little, and we're going to talk about different things. But this is a good, healthy women's program, and I always love the way this starts. Love, laughter, and a sense of purpose. And that's what we all need. Exercise and play. It says a plant-based diet, but I mean, I think it's basically don't forget to eat plants. Let's put it that way. Avoid sugar and refined carbs, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, clean environment, reduce toxins, smart supplementation. And I hope we gave you some things where you can figure out how to pick things. Read when you go to the store and pick up anything, please read. When you see line after line after line after line of additives, when I see that, I just put it back. I can't deal with it. I know I'm not going to go home and look up all those additives. You can find things with less additives that are usually pretty much healthier, or, what do they say? Shop the perimeter. Don't shop in the middle where they have all the box things or the canned things. And this is what I think is most important, working together as a community of wellness. I do a wellness luncheon once a month, and I'm pushing the idea that we should be a community, a wellness community, and we need to share information and support one another. Because today you're not getting really good information from your doctors. And if you want good information, we are around to help you. And whoever invited you, please get back to them if you have any questions. I will tell you that we have other resources. We have a functional medicine doctor who does a seminar once a month, and she will be doing it next week. And we have the ability to invite people free, and she's excellent. We also have something that's called the Your Freedom Project, and there are doctors that are speaking next week. I think it's next week or the following week. And everybody's covering heart health. Right now they're covering heart health because it's February. So if you want information, just know we have that for you. And if there's, I'm going to end this, and then afterwards, if there's questions, I'll be happy to